Rose G. Arden here with old war veterans. I'm sorry, I don't have your name, so let's start with you.
Me, okay. My name is Field Marshal Harold Rupert Leoford George Alexander of Tunis.
Alright, and you?
I am an Italian general, and my name is Alfredo Guzian.
And how are you involved in World War II?
Well, as you said, I am very old. And so you see, I had to write my things down so I could give you the information. You see, in 1918 I was the Chief of Staff in the 3rd Corps. And in 1929 to 1930 I was the commanding officer of the 58th Regiment. In 1930 to 1933 I was the commanding officer of the 3rd Alpine Brigade. And in 1933 to the 1934 I was the commanding infantry and cavalry academy. In 1934 to 1936 I was the general officer of the commanding. Of the 21st Division of Grenadieri di Sardegna in Ethiopia. And in 1936 to 1937 I was the governor of Eritrea. In 1937 to 1939 I was the general officer of the commanding of the 11th Corps. In 1939 I was the general officer of the commanding expeditionary force of Albania. In 1939 I was the general officer of the commanding Albanian Corps. In 1939 I was the commander-in-chief of Albania. In 1940 I was the general officer of the commanding 4th Army in France. In 1940 to 1941 I was the Undersecretary of War. In 1940 to 1941 I was the Deputy Chief of the Supreme General Staff. And in 1943 I was the general officer of the commanding 6th Army in Sicily.
And then you, George Leofric Rupert, you, yes.
Me, yeah, I have quite a few of them. I had to write them down before we got here. 1922, I was commanding officer, 1st Battalion, Irish Guards. 1927.
Excuse me, I have a question. Do you have a nickname?
My nickname? Why?
Your name is just so long, I figured you ought to have a nickname.
Well, yes, I have a nickname, but what is it to you, any of your concern?
Well, it's kind of hard to pronounce your name, sir.
Yes, my friends call me Alex.
Okay, Alex.
Commanding officer, 1927. Commanding officer, Regimental District Irish Guards. 1931, General Staff Officer 1, War Office. 1932, General Staff Officer 1, Northern Command. 1934, Commanding Officer Naushara Brigade, India. 1936, Aide-de-Camp to the King. 1938, General Officer Commanding 1st Division, France. 1940, General Officer Commanding 1 Corps, France. 1940, again, General Officer Commanding 1st Division. 1940, General Officer Commanding 1 Corps of France. 1940 to 1942, General Officer Commanding-in-Chief 7th Command. 1942, General Officer Commanding Burma Army. 1942, General Officer Commanding 1st Army England. 1942, Commander-in-Chief Middle East Command. 1943, Deputy Supreme Allied Expeditionary Force. 1943, Commander-in-Chief 18th Army Group Tunisia. In 1943, Commander-in-Chief 15th Army Group Italy. 1944, Commander-in-Chief Allied Armies Italy. 1944,
I kind of feel like a squirrel.
1944, Aide-de-Camp General to the King. 1944, Supreme Allied Commander Mediterranean Forces. 1946, Governor General of Canada. Canada. I always say that wrong. Canada. 1952, Minister of Defense.
Okay then.
You know, nobody really cares what you did in the war.
Oh, no one cares what I did. No one cares what you did.
How do you know? Have you talked to my friends? I didn't think so.
Have you talked to mine? No, you haven't, because you would have known my nickname then.
You know what? Your country is just so stupid. You don't even know your name. Are you Great Britain? Are you the Brits? Are you the British? Nobody knows.
Your colors on your flag are inappropriate.
You should be happy with the colors on our flag. Our colors on our flag stand
was gonna say what? Well.
Excuse me. Are you Hitler?
Shut up! Anyway, there was a blonde, a brunette, and a red. And a redhead. They decided to play hide and go seek. What they didn't know is they would really tick off the farmer. So they ended up, the redhead jumped onto the roof and hid behind the twirly little thing with the chicken on top. It's getting good. Then the brunette ran and found a hay bale, jumped into it, or a hay pile, that straw-like thing. Anyway, then the blonde, all she could find, because being a blonde, she just found a potato sack. So she jumped into that. My shirt's unbuttoned. Anyway, so the farmer was running and saw the redhead behind the little twirly thing on the roof and shot at it. And the redhead barked, like bark. So then it jumped and it ran over to the hay pile and it shot at that. And the hay pile goes meow because, you know, the brunette just said meow. Then it shot at the potato sack and the blonde, being a blonde, goes, potato, potato! Okay.
I'll get you, blonde joke!
You!
She's not worth it. Not worth it. Come on. Let's play. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands.
From the...
God save the king! I have had my fill of Hitler.
Today, we rule Germany. Tomorrow, the world.
Thank God the war is over. Good night and see you tomorrow.